world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Sign up for my free daily newsletter, The Current, at getkim.com. So did you watch the big game on Sunday?
You don't want to get sued, do you?
No.
You're not going to say it.
I can't.
I did. Of course I watched it.
I mean, so were you like glued to the TV the whole time? Because you are a real football guy.
We spent the weekend at Disneyland. Yeah. Saturday, we were there from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Wow.
21 rides.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. It was so much fun. But we made it home. We flew back. We made it home right at kickoff. And they ordered food. I didn't even care. I was so tired and I was so exhausted. And I was in a house full of women. And I was just like, let's just calm, watch the game and not get crazy.
So are the girls all into the game?
They were into Bad Bunny.
Okay.
And they were into the commercials.
That was it.
Yeah. So when football was on, it was. And then when the shh, be quiet.
The commercials were on.
Gemini's making, or Claude is making fun of ChatGPT. Be quiet.
Well, everybody was talking about the Ring ad.
Oh, of course.
I mean, Milo the dog getting lost.
Can I tell you exactly what happened when that ad came on? Again, in a house full of women.
Right.
Oh, that's what I saw. I heard, oh, they're saving puppies.
Now, they are.
Oh.
Yes.
Everybody was, and if you haven't seen or heard the commercial, basically they're using all the cameras as a network to surveil neighborhoods. And if you lose your dog, one of your precious puppies,
they're going to find the dog.
You upload the image.
And then everybody goes out and finds it.
Right. And all the cameras, it uses all the cameras to scan and match the identity of your dog to one that shows up on camera. And what did they save? How many
They saved 99 dogs in 90 days.
99 dogs. We're a country of 340 million people. And they're spending $8 million.
Well,
to tell us they saved 99 dogs.
Okay, but no, there's a backstory to all this.
Okay.
Of course. Okay. First of all, let me ask you a question. On the average American street, how many homes have a Ring video doorbell?
Ring brand specific.
Correct.
2. How many?
Anywhere between 10 and 20. That's huge. Think about that market
share. On one street?
On one street. And think about
That's
this.
Huge.
Here's a guy who invented the Ring camera and took it to Shark Tank, and they turned it down.
Oh, I know. That's one of the. You always see the TikTok video or the reel that says one of the biggest fails in Shark Tank history.
Yes,
because it's $1 billion company
at least. And so here's what happened. So Amazon, they're just brilliant. I mean, they are truly brilliant.
You think so? You think $1 trillion company knows what they're doing?
They know. They are projecting like 20 years into the future what they're doing.
Okay.
And when I mean like brilliant, they have set foundations. I mean, you have like Corning Glass. They've been around for 175 years.
Right.
Okay. Now, and then everybody said they was going bankrupt. And then suddenly they're like, no, we're making fiber optic cables.
Oh, it's a bit different.
Okay. And so now everybody's talking about how great Corning is. Okay. Because they pivoted. But what Amazon did so many years ago is that they developed technology inside the doorbell and inside the Echo devices that would take just a little tiny smidgen. That's a technical term.
Absolutely.
Okay. A little smidgen of your internet connection and then let the neighborhood use it.
Okay.
Okay. And they call that the Amazon sidewalk. And so it doesn't degrade your performance.
It's only a smidgen.
It's only a little tiny bit. But what it allows it to do is that your Ring doorbell can talk to my Ring doorbell. And if your Ring doorbell, the power gets cut or the Wi-Fi gets cut and my Wi-Fi is up, is that your doorbell can come over and use my Wi-Fi.
Is that happening now?
Yes. Okay. And a lot of people are upset about this because the Amazon network, the same one that's going to save all these puppies, save all these dogs.
90 dogs.
90 dogs. Is that it uses this Amazon sidewalk technology that you are opted in by default. Okay, so
you don't have to agree to it?
No.
By buying the camera.
It's in the terms and conditions.
Well, of course it is.
That you're going to be part of this Amazon network. And so in December, they didn't talk about this in the Super Bowl ad. In December, Amazon came out with something called Familiar Faces. And so with Familiar Faces, your Ring doorbell will look, and instead of saying someone's at the door, it would say Susie's at the door.
Because it's seen Susie a bunch of times, and then it matches Susie's face to Susie's internet profile
Correct.
on Instagram, and it knows exactly who she is.
And then it also knows, because it has this wide angle view, that's how they can find the dogs. They know if Susie's coming up. They know when Susie walks by the house. And then it gets a little tricky.
Well, here's what happened. After all the oohs and ahs and everybody at the house was like gushing over the fact that they saved 90 dogs, I said, you know what they're actually doing? Is they're actually collecting all this information
Yes.
so that they can repackage it and sell it. My whole scope on technology changed when Walmart bought Vizio TVs.
Oh, yes, because they don't make any money on the TV.
No, they lose money on some of the TVs that they're
exactly.
selling. But the data that they're collecting and selling
huge.
and selling
It's
and
huge.
selling
Right.
was worth purchasing the company. And now every single time there's a new product, I think to myself, or a new feature or whatever,
What are they doing with that?
How are they collecting data so they can resell it? And this is a prime example.
So then they have Faces. Okay. So this is all the Amazon sidewalk. Okay. Then they do a deal with Flock, the license plate readers.
Mm-hmm.
So when a car goes by and it captures on the Amazon sidewalk, the Flock will have the license plate with that car. And now there have been reports that law enforcement, they will get the Ring footage without asking. Because again, you may have said yes to that.
Who owns it?
Well, that's the other question. Do you own it as the homeowner, or does Amazon own it because it's on their network?
I'm sure they both. I'm sure it's 100% on either side. If Amazon needs it, they own it. Otherwise, you own it.
But think about, when I say how Amazon is just brilliant, think about this. You know, we live in a country where people in rural areas, they're still trying to lay down cable
Right.
in order to get it, even though we have all these great satellites and Elon Musk can provide satellite to everybody. Okay. Amazon, through their technology, created their own mesh network to track everything that's happening in a neighborhood. Porch pirates, too.
Okay.
Okay. You know, your Amazon driver, they can see everything that's coming back.
And it
over.
probably started with that thought too. It's like we have this huge problem with people stealing Amazon packages. How can we assist in stopping it? Well, why don't we start reading license plates? I'm sure it innocently started there, not with the evil intent of we're going to track everybody at all times.
So now you have this big surveillance network in your neighborhoods that every single thing's being tracked. Now, you know, is it a good thing? Well, yeah, they catch robberies, right? Car break-ins. I mean, there are some good things.
Find 90 dogs.
And they found 90 dogs, which really it's not a lot.
It's not even close to a lot.
But we are happy about that. You know, you can opt out.
I'm sure it's really easy too.
It's not bad.
Okay. I mean, that's sad. That's sad when not bad is a positive.
Well, because you don't have to go through like 85 steps. You just have to go through like 7 steps. And I put them all in the current newsletter.
Okay.
But if you do opt out, then you won't be able to participate. Like if your dog gets lost, sorry.
Right.
You won't know that Susie's at the door. Your Porsche pirates, they can just come steal from you.
But then also too, because I told the girls when we were sitting there watching, I said, they're repackaging this and selling this. But then you have to think about it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Well,
What's the negative that comes from it?
they say that ICE has access to these records.
Okay, but if you're a
Secret Service.
law-abiding legal citizen, again, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to be marketed
Yes.
more
Yes.
targeted?
Right. You're going to be marketed. These are some other data points. They know that you like to pull in your driveway at 2:00 in the morning on a Sunday morning after going out.
What are they going to do with that for information?
Sell that to the insurance companies that maybe you're not a.
Okay,
you're-
that's a negative
you're
angle.
risk. And then you also have all these people with Flock. You know, Flock has deals with everybody. I mean, and one of my neighborhoods, I have Flock. In the house in Santa Barbara, there's Flock cameras that go in and out. And, and what I just do, I always wave.
See? Because what are they going to do with it? You're a law-abiding legal citizen.
Yes, except for when we were at the homeowners association.
Uh-oh.
And and people were complaining about how fast people drive through the neighborhood. And my husband raised his hand and says, "Oh, I got something to say."
Of course.
And I looked at him like, "Oh no, here it comes." He's like, you know, when I go through at 35 or 40 miles an hour, and I look out and go, "It's 25, ding dong."
They're talking about you.
Exactly.
Do you see it as a negative? I hear that you're impressed with the technology.
Yes, I am.
And I hear that you think it's a thing that's going to expand and get bigger in the future. Do you see a negative?
I don't really.
Okay.
But then again, I have cameras all over my house.
Do you have a doorbell cam?
I have doorbell cams. I have AI cams. I use mine are Ubiquity. Mine are like high end cameras.
So your dogs, if they get lost, see them. Never find them again.
They've got trackers on them.
I forgot.
I do have license plate readers outside my around my property.
So you're just doing the same thing Amazon is, just locally.
Yeah, that's all. It costs me a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so that's something that if Amazon, if you would like to come in, if anybody's watching it from Amazon, if you want to come in and like replace all my cameras, that would be like really fabulous.
She'll do a deal.
I will. Absolutely. So this is all in the current newsletter because I wrote all about this because I saw the commercial at the big game. And I thought, you know what, they're not really telling the whole story.
Well, no, they're telling, this is advertising. You either advertise with sex or puppy. I mean, especially a big game commercial, you're going to use animals or babies, and they just decided to use animals. Everybody loves dogs. Everybody wants lost dogs to be found. So, of course, this is a great thing.
Yeah, but they're keeping my problem is that they're keeping all this a secret. They're not really divulging it.
Well, maybe they don't want the bad guys to know that it's out there.
Oh, everybody knows.
Well, have you seen it got released maybe just a half hour ago, the doorbell cam of Savannah Guthrie's mom?
Yeah, they are releasing that. Yeah, and I'm going to write all about that in the newsletter too, because that's all coming out like piece by piece.
The person that was caught on cam took a bunch of branches and held it in front of them and then blocked it with the camera because they know that there's a camera there and they know the capabilities of a camera. So maybe if we keep the information of the license plate reader and the network and the cameras talking to each other, the bad guys won't know how to work around it.
No, they'll figure out a way.
Well, they will, absolutely.
They will.
Especially if they watch this podcast.
So you get screenshots, all the steps in the current newsletter, which, by the way, that's why we're calling this the current podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because if you're not already getting the current newsletter, almost 1 million folks every single day get it. Our open rate the other day is astounding, 49.7%. One day last week, we gained 12,000 new subscribers.
What did you do on that day that you didn't do on the other days?
I gave away some money. Just saying.
Works.
We have winfromkim.com. And so that's where you can subscribe to the newsletter, but you also enter to win $250 every single day.
Every day of the month of February.
100%. And you can unsubscribe at any time. But you're not going to want to.
No, don't tell them that. But be like Amazon. Learn from Amazon.
Yes.
You don't say the negative.
No, it's not there. Don't even go there. Another thing that I put in the newsletter, which I thought was really fascinating, and maybe because I'm not a Gen Zer, but when you're having sex, I mean, should you really be scrolling on Instagram?
We talked about this. I host a daily radio show in Phoenix, Arizona. And we do a segment called Dumb Stuff. And we brought this up during the segment. And we got in kind of an argument about it.
Did you? Why?
Because Beth, my co-host, was like, absolutely no phones. The phone should be turned off, away. This is couples time, intimacy time. And I'm like, when you're in a relationship and you're getting, you're getting intimate and the phone goes off and you have 5 kids, you got to make sure one of the kids, it's not an issue.
Okay. I can appreciate that.
So checking the phone is one thing. And I think, this is something that she does and I do. If the phones light up in a pitch black room, you know that there's something coming through and we got to see if it's the kids. Otherwise, I don't think we'd ever touch our phone. But this story says scrolling.
That's the difference. And it's, let me see the number. 35%.
Scrolling.
When they're having sex. Out of 100,000 U.S. college students that they are scrolling.
Writing text messages was one of the things that was included in that 35%. If you're making love, having sex, whatever, and you're Composing a text message? That's your skill. I mean, that's impressive. I can barely text sitting in a room totally focused.
And even this is where I'm thinking about, not that we were doing it, but this where I'm on my phone just dictating a text to Siri, and she's always half-assed wrong.
Right. Imagine if can you go to the store and can you pick up cucumbers?
Yeah, maybe like romance needs like airplane mode to survive.
But you can't though. We're so connected because, okay, I'll tell a story. We were going to bed, started getting intimate, and the phone lights up and she reaches over and I go, oh, what a buzzkill. And she looked at me and she goes, I have no choice. Mackenzie is across town at softball practice. What if her car is broken down? I have no choice.
That's true.
I get it.
That's true.
And I need to get it. So I have to let her check her phone.
But still.
But there's another thing. I find that in my generation, if you are at a lunch or a gathering with a group of people and you look at your phone, 40-somethings, which is my age range, are appalled. Absolute, like, what are you doing? Am I not interesting enough?
Yeah, I can see that.
But that generation, the Gen Zers,
they live on them.
They don't get off their phones.
Right.
Ever. And so it's normalized with them. I don't think it's a big deal. Whatever. You're checking your phone. We're at lunch. It's fine. I don't need your undivided attention. You can peel away for 4 to 5 seconds. I'll be fine. But it's interesting how different generations react to the technology.
Well, but they grew up with it.
Yeah, so it's always been there.
So that's not a big deal.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, let's move on. Johnson & Johnson, they decided that they would put AI into some of their new surgical instruments.
Okay.
Now, when I talk about sinus surgery, that's not like exciting thing.
Not sexy. There's no sex appeal to sinus surgery.
No. And I mean, and it shouldn't be exciting. It should be like, I'm having sinus surgery.
Right.
I mean.
But I'm getting it. Are you excited about sinus surgery?
Well, what J&J did is that they thought they would put AI, like an AI GPS instrument in for sinus surgery, but it didn't quite work out right. So a couple of people got strokes. A couple of people had bad things happening because of the way that the instrument worked.
Why do you need GPS in your sinus surgery?
Because everything's going AI and robotics.
But are you losing it?
I don't know.
Has anyone seen my nose? It's right here. Wherever I am, that's where it's going to be.
Maybe they're trying to find something like deep on the inside or whatever it is. I don't know. That's one of the things that I haven't studied is medicine.
Sure.
I mean, I've been through a lot of schools, but not that one. And so, but what I thought was interesting at the end of the day is that they came out and they said, we don't think it's the AI.
That's not the problem? That's not what's causing all these things? You make one change to it and it's not the thing that's causing the problem?
Yeah, I think they should nose around a little bit more.
Gosh.
Just to see if it was really...
Did we only do that story so you could say that line?
All right, this is not fun. You have 5 kids. Mm-hmm. Meta, it has been released that they unsealed some documents. And they say that predators are targeting up to 500,000 kids a day with sexually inappropriate messages. And that's only in English-speaking markets.
And the purpose is not to scam them. It's actually the predators are getting off on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's teen accounts that they're really targeting. They're offering 6-figure porn offers. I mean, they're trying to give them they're saying here, send us some porn and maybe we'll pay you 6 figures for that.
Oh, gosh.
And, that's a crap load of money. And now all this is going to a jury. And some people are saying these, Facebook and everybody else, that it's online casinos for kids.
Absolutely.
So now with the 5 kids, 4 girls and a guy, little guy, do you see this is this brought up around the dinner table? Are you guys talking about this?
Well, we talk about the dangers of social media. We talk about the mainly what's happening that's a negative with social media is the bullying. And right now there are sects, and I don't want to point anybody out, but there's sections
Yes.
of the friend groups that are getting together in group chats. And when people are excluded, they become targets. Oh. And the girls are very uncomfortable with that. But this is something that is relationship based with people that they are connected to, not a complete stranger from some other part of the world that's like, hey, if you do this porn, we'll pay you money.
Yeah, and there's so many kids that are just sitting on their phones without parents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing they know, too, is they know that the parents have access to everything. My son doesn't, when he watches YouTube on his tablet and he gets his alone time, he doesn't like anyone around him. And of course, that is an alarm going off for a
For
parent.
sure, because hormones going, no.
And so I'm constantly checking his history. I'm constantly checking what he's accessing because we have it all connected, which is great of these companies to allow that ability to have that to happen. But he just likes to be alone. He doesn't like anyone watching over his shoulder. He's not doing anything bad on there. But so we have to constantly bring it up that why are you trying to be alone? Why are you segregating yourself when you're on your social media? You know, these are the dangers that could be out there. Is this something you're experiencing? My nephew went over to his first sleepover when he was 10. And the minute the parents were asleep, the kid he was going over to hang with said, hey, let's go watch porn on the computer.
Oh, God.
And they're not talking about predators. And if they're smart enough that maybe if they get something like that, even a leading message, that they're pushing it aside. But also, they're not lonely. They're not, in a rural area or whatever these things that I'm sure these predators are looking at to target to narrow down their victims, someone that they're probably going to be more successful with.
I'm thinking about, I have like a side of my family that lives in a metropolitan area that is where the girls, I see them on Facebook, and the girls are like 10 and 12. And I mean, we're talking full makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, crop tops.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's one like fourth or fifth cousin, and I think the little girl's like 14. If I showed you her picture, you'd swear she was 24 or 25. I mean, nuts.
We have a family member that she's young. She's in her teens. She wears provocative looking clothing because that's what the internet tells her to do. But then a minute when she's around people, she's always covering up.
Is that right?
Yeah. And it's because when she's alone on social media, here's the style, here's the trend, here's what's cool, here's what everybody's doing. So then she goes and she asks for it and she gets it. And then when it becomes a reality, when she's walking in Fry's, a grocery store,
and everybody's staring at her,
and men are looking, it's now real.
Ugh. All right, let's talk about Waymo.
I love Waymo.
I know you love Waymo.
Such a great company.
I wanted to take a Waymo the other day.
And what happened?
There was no Waymo. It said just an Uber whatever. Uber this, Uber that, Uber this, Uber that.
Have you seen the new Waymos?
The ones that look like squares?
I think they look like bubbles.
The bubble one?
They're like green bubbles.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the Kobo, which is for Amazon's.
Okay.
That it looks like it's a square van.
The new Waymos are not as cool because the Waymos that you currently drive in is a Jaguar, and it's a nice car, and I think they meant it to look nice and fancy and plush. The new ones kind of look like the minivan version of the Waymo, but they're all over.
Well, Waymo came out this past week and said that when you need help and things are maybe not happening very well in the car, and the car maybe needs some help, is that you're talking to somebody in the Philippines.
I also had read that they can remotely take over the car.
Yeah, the guy in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what?
Remote control drive it.
Right, so when you're sitting there and a Waymo's doing a legal turn somewhere in Phoenix,
right,
this guy in Manila's going like, whoa, wait, whoa.
Bring her back.
That's not it.
That's awesome, though.
So what do you like best about Waymo?
I don't have to talk to anybody.
I like that too. It doesn't smell. So, sometimes these Uber guys and gals, enough with the air fresheners.
When we were in California,
gross.
On the way to Disneyland from the airport, we were texting back and forth, and we looked like a married couple that hated each other because we weren't making eye contact and we were both on our phones, but we were actually texting each other. And I was like, can you smell the cigarettes in this car? And she's like, cigarettes is not what I'm worried about. It's the BO.
Oh, that's the worst.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And also, what's funny is that the guilt that comes from it, because we get out and I'm like, they send the message, it's time to tip. I'm like, what do I give? A couple bucks? And she's like, yeah, no, you give 5 stars and you give $5 because this is his livelihood.
Right.
And if he doesn't, then he's not going to have a job.
Last time I went to LA, I flew into Burbank Airport and I ordered a Uber to take me to Ian's house. And so I'm in the Uber and we're talking this and this. And then he's like, I have a really great client on the street. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah. And I said, oh, it's that house on the right. He goes, oh, Ian.
That's hilarious.
Okay. I'm like, here I am in Los Angeles County. Okay. Then the next day I took an Uber from his house to UCLA to get my eyeball checked. And this guy pulls up and he's like, oh, Ian's house. I'm saying, Ian, do you know every Uber guy in the city?
He owns a car. I know he does.
Yes.
But it's LA. It's different than in parts of the country. You're going to Uber everywhere.
Yeah, because you don't want to actually have to drive.
So are you worried about the Philippines being in control of the Waymo?
No.
Because you've been scared for Waymo. You still haven't done it.
No, and I keep wanting to. And I really do. I want to go in a Waymo. But the time I was going to go from our house to Sky Harbor.
Waymo to work tomorrow.
No, I don't want to. No. No.
Waymo home.
And then last weekend, Barry said, meet me at, because I was going to go work out. And he said, meet me at Oceans 44 after you work out. So I've heard, and he said, I'll drive there and then you can Waymo. I tried to get a Waymo there.
So you had to Uber?
Yeah.
You got to get you in a Waymo. We need to get a full review.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
All right, let's do some quick tips. Oh, by the way, if you're not already getting the current newsletter, go to winfromkim.com.
Of course, yeah, you got to go there because you want to win.
Yeah, you want to win that $250. You know what? And for some reason, we give this away every day, and then people don't open their newsletter and they don't redeem it.
So you have a better open rate on the newsletter than you do on the prize giveaway?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And then we reach out to these people and they're like, oh, it's a scam. We're like, no, it's not a scam.
I don't blame them. Everything seems to be a scam.
Okay, your smart speaker. Which one you have, Google?
Google Home.
Now, when you talk to Google, are you nice and kind and polite?
Nope.
Or you just...
I am barking orders.
Because it's like a toaster to you.
It is a toaster. It's just a toaster that plays music and tells me the weather.
Okay. Well, Amazon and Google, they've patented technology that it will analyze your mood. And so whether or not you say like, hey, Google Home, what's the weather? Versus, what's the weather?
Right.
And then they're selling that information.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
I'm angry. I wish they would be reactive. If you were stern and you were angry, they would speed you up, put you to the front of the line of the Google responses. Like, this guy doesn't have time to sit around and listen for me to respond.
yeah. I took Alexa out of my office because I was staring there looking at it. And I'm like, I don't know if she needs to hear everything.
Were you using it a lot?
No.
Yeah. So,
But everything in the background. I mean, they say they don't listen.
no, yeah, you gotta say the trigger words.
Of course, the
But
wake
it's
word.
listening all the time to hear the trigger words.
I know. And every time I write about that or I talk about it, some PR flack from Amazon will say, we're only listening for the wake word, Kim Commando. I don't know why you need to say that.
You have to listen to every word to find the wake words. We're not idiots.
If your kids are deleting your texts and they're on your Apple ID, you can get those texts back.
Oh, okay.
That's a relatively new feature. And let's see, you just go into text message forwarding. We have all the steps over at commando.com.
And the current.
And the current. Well, yeah, you have to sign up for the current. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. We had this whole big meeting on how we got to talk about and connect this to the newsletter more. And the last opportunity you have, you're like, oh, go to the website.
Okay. You know what? Just leave me alone.
Okay.
You don't know everything that I'm dealing with.
It's not stress. It's anxiety. It's clinical.
And I'm doing everything I can. I went for a 7-mile run on Sunday.
How long did that take?
Oh, God.
Did it help?
You know what? It did. But I will tell you, Monday morning, I was tired. I'm like,
not doing that again.
I'm like, this is, and I even sent, using the Strava app, it gives you like the whole route that you do and stuff. And I sent it to my brother, and he texted me back, he's like, damn.
I haven't walked that much this week.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is really something. No, so I'm really looking at my metrics on my watch.
Yeah, you're getting obsessed with it.
You think?
I do.
Why?
I think we're like 6 months away from a story in the Current being, I'm throwing away my smartphone because I have a problem.
Well, I'm thinking about getting the Ultra now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you need more. That's absolutely right.
Because
you know what heroin addicts say? I need more heroin and I need better heroin.
No, because this is only the Series 11.
Right.
And I'm thinking if I had the Ultra.
Think how much your life would change. Not at all.
No, but I can go in and I can see all these stats.
You want to know that stuff?
Well, I am getting a little obsessed. I think you are. Because my VO2 max went down like by a 0.2.
And you're freaking out.
And I went to AI. I'm like, my VO2 max is down by 0.2.
Did it come back with, oh, you're going to die tomorrow?
No, it came back and said, you're still in the exceptional category.
Right.
Okay,
oh, my gosh.
So there's that.
Well, this should be something for the newsletter, where now that you have established a routine, addiction to this smartwatch, put it in a drawer for a week. See if you have withdrawals.
I don't wear it to bed.
So proud of you.
But when I am having sex, I'm checking my VO2 max.
Yeah, you don't have to notice it. It's not as noticeable if you're just looking at the watch there.
Look at my heart rate.
No, I wasn't checking the time to see if you're taking too long. I just wanted to know if someone texts.
Actually, that was a timer. I'm really going to go. I got things to get going.
It's time for bed.
Hey, speaking of, this wraps it up. Make sure that you give us a few kind words wherever you get your podcast, a nice 5-star rating, and be sure to sign up for The Current. If you don't already get it, here's the spoilers that you can go to winfromkim.com and sign up for The Current, and also enter to win $250 every single day somebody wins. Again, that's winfromkim.com.